I had a fantastic weekend. Obviously today's Monday. It's been cool. Like I keep mentioning on Mondays, my whole weekend has been this summer and late spring, spending every pretty much waking minute, obviously with my kids, my wife, and family. I mean extended family. So we have we're blessed that we have a lot of family around us, a lot of barbecues, a lot of just good time being with people that really matter. You know what I mean? As I got older and went through a lot of the shit I went through, I realized that it's very hard to find genuine people that aren't looking for anything. You know what I mean? Just people that want to be, be there for you. And I find it very comforting to know that there are, you can always get that from family. You know what I mean? You never have to worry about what they want, so to speak, or if there's always like an underlying reason why somebody might want to become your friend. Okay, but we had a great weekend yesterday. The kids were in the pool. I took them in the pool, and it was fun. It was the first time my daughter ever been in a pool before, and she's 10 months old, so she was terrified, but she had fun. All right, so today's gonna be the first day where the videos will be a little bit longer. Now, this email I'm going to read in particular is a response email to the video that I did about tapering. Okay, last week I wrote about the success, in my opinion, that most people find success going cold turkey, and that tapering, although it should be your first go, should be tapering. You should try it out, see if it works, because it does lessen the withdrawal symptoms. It prolongs the withdrawal or the whole process, but it does put less of an impact on your body, and it is the ideal way to do things. It's just very hard for a lot of people to control themselves when they're addicted to something. I was one of those people. I spoke about it in a video that I tried tapering once and I lasted 2 hours because knowing that I had stuff around made it absolutely impossible for me to not take more than I was supposed to. Okay? So, that was what I was saying. Now, what's great about this story is that it is a success story using tapering as the method to get off of opioids. Alright? And she wrote and her name's Debbie. She wrote, after your video about tapering versus cold turkey, I wanted to share my recovery story because I chose tapering and it has worked for me. Let me set this up better like that. How's that? Good? Okay. Alright, so she says, the driving force is still the same. The pills are evil, and I wanted them out of my body and out of my life, but I was determined to lessen the withdrawal symptoms as much as possible. Day one of tapering, you have to know you are not going to feel good for a long time. This requires so much mental strength because you have been using to feel normal, and you are not going to feel normal anymore. I had manageable versions of cold turkey withdrawal symptoms. Trouble sleeping, feeling too hot, then too cold, some slight stomach issues, achy all the time, etc. And the worst was I immediately had horrible anxiety. This is where I started focusing on the mental strength and eating healthy and exercising. Huge. Probably the most important part of everything. If you get cleared by your doctor to exercise, start immediately. I mean, and your nutrition is, it's such a huge part of this. Okay, so back to where she said. Okay, everything I did, everything I ate, every thought I've had for the almost 3 months that I've been tapering has been in support of the idea that I am getting off of these pills. Mental strength, willpower, positive thoughts are absolutely key to tapering. You have to become the person you want to be off opiates while you are still using them to get well. And it's really, really, really hard. You are in kind of a hellish limbo of wanting things now. You want to be clean now, but must be patient because tapering your body down is all about taking time. At the same time, you have to fight the addict voice just wanting to feel good right now. And the pills are right there, and you can't take an extra just because you're tired or frustrated, had a bad day, or want to take a break from feeling this way. I made a tapering schedule based off the one my pain management doctor gave me, which was basically reducing a half a pill every 2 weeks. That wasn't fast enough for me, so at the beginning I reduced a whole pill every 1 week until I really started to feel sick. Then I went to the half a pill structure, but continued to reduce once a week. Again, discipline is the key, and up until now, discipline, where these pills are concerned, was not my strong suit. The first few weeks, every waking thought was about sticking to the taper, and it's exhausting to live that way. About 3 weeks, I started getting ocular migraines, which I've had before, panic attacks, and regular headaches. I think it was my body trying every trick it had to get me to up the dose. I dealt with everything my body threw at me as it came without resorting to hydrocodone. It was a test, and I wasn't going to fail. After about a month, I started craving cigarettes, which I haven't smoked in 5 years. I didn't give in because I realized it was my addict mind desperate to get me to give in to anything, any way it could. This is why it's a battle with your mind and body at the same time. Of course, I got a damn bird singing now. Nature. At social functions, which I no longer avoid, I politely declined offers for alcohol. Not only do I think drinking a beer right now would probably make me sick, I know altering the way my mind works would only lead to trouble, and it could lead me down a road where I might make a decision concerning these pills that I would surely regret. So I'm basically straight edge for now, and I'm cool with that. That's huge. And I keep butting into her email, but that's huge because if you're clean, say you get off opiates for maybe like 3 weeks, and you start to go socialize and you're going out with friends, and you never had a problem drinking whatsoever, so you go out and you start, throwing back a couple beers, you have 3 beers, that little bit may make you think differently than you would as you're sober. So you might make a decision, maybe I could just try 1 pill. Mixing that stuff with alcohol, first of all, is extremely dangerous. I know people who have died from it, okay, even small amounts, because their body is not used to it. But that thought of, maybe just 1 or 2, maybe I'll grab some for my hangover, and then bam, it's off to the races. Okay, so she says, I wrote a taper schedule and kept a log where I wrote down every dose and time so I couldn't fool myself into taking too much. One day I put a half pill in my mouth and picked up the pen to log the dose. I then realized I was about to take too much for the day. I spit out that half of a pill and started crying. I cried because in that moment I realized I really have the power to do this and nothing was going to stop me. Swallowing that accidental extra pill, half a pill, would only be cheating myself and setting this whole process back. That was the moment that I felt I really was in control, and it gave me intense strength to move forward. Every day I was tapering, I felt I needed to train. I started walking. I have never been a fan of exercise of any kind, but I knew my body would have to be as strong and healthy as possible to endure whatever it would feel like when I get to the end of the taper. Day 1, it was a big deal that I made it around the block 1 time. As I tapered down and got stronger, I set new goals. 1 time around the block turned into 2, 3, 4 times, and now I walk vigorously about a mile a day. That is huge for me. Like I said, my exercise regimen before this did not exist. Now walking not only makes me feel good physically, it clears my mind, and I now look forward to this positive new habit in my life every day. I started eating healthy and could really feel a difference physically and mentally on the days when I had to eat something less healthy on the go. Calm support is not only helpful in how I feel physically, but it mentally makes me feel good to swallow a capsule that is healthy for me instead of the poison I've been swallowing for years. Thank you, Ryan. You're welcome. Things went well until I got down to 1.5 pills a day. Everything felt the way it did at the beginning. The anxiety and the aches and the constant thoughts of using increased. I just kept doing what worked in the past and tried to evaluate how I really felt, considering I went from 15 to 20 pills a day to 1.5. Taking all that into consideration, I felt good. I have not spent 1 minute writhing on the bathroom floor in pain, and now I'm almost done. I'm now at the finish line. I'm at 1 pill a day. Now I'm waking up after about 15 hours since my last half, and I purposely wait several hours until I take that day's dose because for so long my first action every morning was taking hydrocodone. Now I'm training myself for 0. Some say I could easily jump from here, but this has worked for me so far, so I'm going to continue with my plan. I debate on whether I should wait to send this to you so the end of the story could be what it felt like on day 1 of really being clean. I guess I'll write back to you in about 2 weeks. Yes, you will. Right? Yeah, you will. Don't forget about me. I suggest people really give tapering all they've got. The upside, besides avoiding horrible withdrawals, is taking this time to really change into the person you want to be while the pills leave your system. My next move, if this didn't work for me, was going to rehab, so failure to me is not an option. Thanks, Ryan, Debbie. P.S. People should also know that I'm 45 years old, and if I can do it, anyone can. All right, so the great thing about that email, besides the fact that she's a fantastic writer and her words really flow and it made it easy to read it, is that she hits on a lot of points on why it's good. And there's stuff that, I never even thought of. That last part where she says that, it gives her time to transition to the person that she wants to be when she's off. Okay, so that does give you time. I mean, when you go cold turkey, it's a battle, it's hell. I mean, all you're trying to do is get through till you're able to function normally, somewhat normally. Still, you're still going to feel like crap, but you want to be able to function and get as much nutrients in your body, start exercising, and change who you are. But that's rapid, all right? And I know personally that the person that was using, when the person that was controlling his body when he was using, was nowhere near the same person when I got clean. I mean, I was a monster, terrible human being. I hate that guy, okay? And in about, whatever it was, 10, 15 days total, when it was all gone, completely different person. I mean, the love came back, the soul came back. I mean, I felt like a real person. So I understand what she's saying. But there's also an upside to that. It's like you go through that intense time period, and you get back to the person you were, and it's pretty cool that it happens so quickly. Okay, so I can see both sides of the coin. I really look forward to Debbie writing again when she's off the last little bit, but she's at a point right now where, her mind and where she's at physically, mentally, I think that she's well on her way to doing the 2 weeks and writing me back. So I would like anybody that has tapered successfully to share their story, to write in, because I gotta be honest, I don't get many success stories for tapering. So when she wrote in, yes, she's still on the last one, so she's not completely off, but going from 15 to 20 down to 1 pill, I mean, that to me, that's successful, because most people, like myself, couldn't get past 2 hours. All right, so she's successfully doing. Has she jumped completely off? No. Will she? I'd bet money she does, and I usually don't do that. But if you have tapered successfully, I would love for you to write in and share your story, because I think everybody deserves every possible way to get clean. There's no one way. Not one thing works for everyone. It's just not how the body works, not how the mind works, not how our bodies are. We're all different, okay? We all come from different genes. So something that I don't speak about often, because I don't hear about it often, if there are people out there, I'll speak about it more, because there might be more people that can relate to that compared to the stuff that I talk about more, if that makes any sense. So if you do have a success story with tapering, please share it. I mean, I'd love to get that info out, because I know personally I don't speak about it a lot, because I don't hear it too much. But there are people out there that do. Okay, so that's my point. If you'd like to share your story, email me at ryan@compsupport.com, and check out some more videos, and enjoy the rest of your Monday.